claps his hands, wants the ball, gets the ball, goes in the left flat. Ferguson wide open at the 3 and bangs his way in for the Cowboys touchdown.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome into this week's episode of First and 10 presented by JCPenney. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Mr. Fresh himself, Jake Ferguson. Oh, you see what I did there? A little bit, Mr. Fresh himself, all right. No, thank you so much, for joining me. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I got to start here with this, though. You had your first career touchdown at Philly, right? And then, of course, unfortunately, not the outcome that you guys wanted, but you still had a touchdown in that game as well. What is it about Philly that just kind of gets you going?
I like big games.
Yeah.
It's always nice going into that atmosphere, It's kind of nice being the bad guy. And I think just trusting our game plan, trusting Dak with everything. And, we would have loved to come away with that win, but it's always good scoring, and I plan on keeping that alive.
Yeah, big games kind of reminds you of that Big Ten atmosphere a little bit.
100%.
Yeah. You've become one of the best storylines of this season, right? Just making such a huge jump from year 1 to year 2. What went into you making this big jump?
I think it started in the off season. Honestly, probably started right when last season ended. Just kind of going through my exit interviews and listening to what the coaches had to say, and then just kind of sitting down and talking to myself and being, hey, I can make this happen. I can be a 1. I can make that second-year jump. And once you start getting into the building, whether it's OTAs in the camp or something like that, I really just focused on choosing one thing each day and trying to get better at it. And then as that started to progress, starting to build a better connection with and Dak, and getting on the same page as him, and really just trying to become that security blanket for him, to where, hey, if something goes wrong, you can always look to me. I'm going to be in the right spot. I'm going to catch the ball. And that's really how I'm trying to just approach every day.
What were some of the things that the coaches did tell you to really emphasize?
So I think last year one of my big strengths was just the blocking game. And then there'd be here and there a couple passes.
Yeah.
And then this year it was just, hey, you need to be the complete package. You need to be able to do everything. And I said, okay, let's not just work on my skill work in the offseason. Let's work some actual blocking stuff. So getting with O-linemen, getting with receivers, and just pulling pieces from everybody, every different part of people's games, the O-lineman game, receiver game, and just trying to mash it all into one so I can embody that whole thing as one.
Mike McCarthy also said that you changed your body. How much have you seen the difference in your body changing, and how different do you feel now at this point of the season than you did last year at this point?
Yeah. I still haven't had a chip since 4th of July.
Yeah.
I gave up desserts, which I'm a big dessert guy. Like a big dessert guy, like Oreos had a choke hold on me for a long time.
Wait, vanilla or chocolate Oreo?
Double stuff.
Oh, man.
I put a fork in the middle of them, and you dip them in the milk so your hands don't get wet.
Oh, wow. I haven't tried that one yet, but
I'm telling you. But yeah, just focusing on, the bad weight and trying to get that off, because I've always been around 250.
The biggest thing that I've taken away from Mike McCarthy in these past few press conferences this week has been that you are so accountable, and you're vocal about your accountability on how you want to improve in this next half of the season. What's something that you want to emphasize for you to skyrocket in this next half of the season?
I think I just start with perfection and striving to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's not always going to be perfect. Nothing's really going to be perfect, especially in football. But if you keep striving to get that and get to that area where, you are close to perfect, or you're somewhat scratching it. This game is a game of inches, and you're off by a foot, you might not win the game. And just trying to get those little details right. So I'm not just good, I'm becoming great.
Yeah. Right now, you're top 10 in the league as a type. I'm sorry. It's okay. We're going.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But this is a team that really, I guess you can say, put a gamble on you. You're so young, coming in, being tight end number 1, right? Was it challenging for you having to step up in a guy's shoes like Dalton Schultz, who was a vet, right? But that room is so young. You're having to step up and play much older than your age. Is that a challenge at all for you, or no?
I guess, yeah, you could probably put it in the challenge category, but sort of just embracing it.
Yeah.
And, it's less of I need to fill these shoes, and more of hey, how can I help my team win? How can I help this team win? How can I, not just be good, but be great? And I'm not really looking at anybody else's numbers or anything, or even my own. I'm just kind of, trying to make plays when my number's called.
Let's go back to early Jake Ferguson years. What was it like growing up in a football home? For me, I can kind of my dad played in the NFL, so I'm not a guy though, so I didn't play football, but for you, I know that was a unique experience growing up around, your dad playing in Nebraska, your grandfather being a head coach.
My brother actually also played at Wisconsin. He's 4 years older than me, and so we were always playing sports, whatever it was, but it was always, whenever we had free time, it was always football. And I was obviously the little brother who would go play up on my brother's team and just get harassed. And then when we had free time, we had a decent sized basement. And if you went down there, you'd see all these little holes in the wall. And it was from my brother tackling me and putting my head in the wall.
Oh, wow.
So a little drywall, so it's nothing crazy. But yeah, and I think that, honestly, I always, whenever I catch a ball and there's a couple guys and it's just like, all right, my brother Joe's about to tackle me, put your head down and run. And that's just kind of how, growing up in that sort of environment where, you're always going against bigger guys because, he's older than me. So you just kind of got to thug it out and give what you can.
How much has that kind of helped you now that you're at the level that you're at as far as competition-wise?
I still take some things that I used when I was a kid. My dad was my youth football coach. My grandpa would be at every game. And they'd always have something to tell me after the game, something I did wrong, obviously. But I still take a couple things that I've used. Every level I've played at, I always have a little bit of pieces from all of it.
What's the biggest lesson that you have learned from your grandfather?
I think one big thing is it ties to finishing and pretty much just giving everything you got. Because if you give everything you got and you finish hard and you go 100% until the whistle, you're never going to look back and be like, oh, I could have done this or I could have been better here. You're putting everything on the line and you have full confidence in yourself. You just lay it all out there for yourself and your team.
When it's all said and done, of course you have years until this is a thought in your mind, but when it's all said and done, aside from a Super Bowl ring, what do you want to look back and say that you accomplished the most? What would be Jake Ferguson's
Super Bowl ring would be pretty cool. 2 Super Bowl rings or more, I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I just want to be great. I just want to be known as great, and that starts now, and that starts with everything I do from here till I'm done.
I love that. Well, now it's the fun part, right? It's called Final Drive. Just gonna spitfire some fun questions.
Right.
Have to brace yourself.
Yep.
All right. Favorite fashion designer?
Don't have one. My girl right now helps me with my pregame fit, so there's that.
Okay. Shout out to her. Pet peeve. Biggest pet peeve.
People who when they're drinking something, or cereal even, when they're drinking and they're drinking out of a straw and it's gone, and they keep trying to get more of it, and they're, oh my God.
Oh, I hate that. Favorite Fergie song?
Fergalicious?
Okay.
Yeah, what?
Okay, what do you have to do on game day? What's a game day ritual?
Or Big Girls Don't Cry. Have to do on game day ritual. I FaceTime my people. This year we've started planting a sunflower seed in every field we go to.
Wow.
Even if it's flavored. So Coach Wells will come out with sunflower seeds. And we all take one and we dig a little hole and we plant it, even if it's turf.
Favorite meal after a game?
Oof. I'm a big smoothie guy, like a shake. I don't eat before games.
Is that just something that's you've
I don't
always
eat
done?
before because I like to simulate the hunt.
Favorite dance move?
I've got a couple. I got some classics.
Okay.
I got one where I kind of come in like this, like mime, and then I open the door and I hit something crazy.
Most expensive first date you've ever taken a girl to? A girl on?
Oh. I'm kind of cheap, honestly. Took my girlfriend now to the beach, so it's free.
Okay. That's still a fun date.
Did take her to D. Lincoln, and I got this crazy Wagyu.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but okay.
Steak, apparently, where they massage the cows.
Okay. Well, Jake, thank you so much. This was great. I know Cowboys Nation loved getting to know you on this episode. But that's a wrap for First and 10, presented by JCPenney. We'll see you next week.